Hello. So let's talk a little bit about translanguaging and what is translanguaging. So translanguaging is the process in using two languages fluidly, simultaneously, interactively in order to communicate and understand the world that is around us. Bilingual people are constantly using translanguaging. We're constantly thinking in one language, and if we need to express that language through speech or writing, we're constantly thinking with the other language, and that happens to me a lot as well. And we just do this to learn, to understand, and to communicate. It is the capability also of using all of the linguistic resources, everything that we have, in order to communicate effectively. In the video Translanguaging, Ofelia Garcia 2017 describes translanguaging as having two perspectives: the societal perspective, and then the one that we're very interested in is the internal perspective. And this is when we see the person using their entire repertoire as one unit, as a whole system. It is suggested that teachers use translanguaging in the classrooms to validate their students to use their language and allow them to communicate with all of their languages, L1, L2, and sometimes maybe even L3. This prevents hindering a child's use of their language to communicate effectively and to communicate their knowledge, right? What we're asking of them. Some teachers' ideas of keeping both languages in the classroom separate, like we used to do before. When I started teaching over 10 years ago, the dual language classes that I was teaching can kind of bring a bad connotation on their academic performance, and on how they see themselves as well, right? Hence, we should be promoting the social justice by allowing this to happen. So translanguaging in the classroom allows the students to feel whole. It allows them to feel comfortable. It allows them to feel safe in a way, because they know that they'll be able to communicate through the speech or the writing, and produce the work effectively as much as they can, and feel comfortable, feel free. Translanguaging used in the classroom empowers the student and enhances their cognitive development, right? So if we want biliteracy to be developed in our classrooms, then we should allow for translanguaging classes and not just a single language of instruction model that we used to do before. I like this quote that I read last semester by Johnson in 2019, which states that a translanguaging space in which a flexible model of biliteracy is enacted liberates readers, writers, and speakers from the constraints imposed by the standardized named languages of nation states and their schools. And this is as cited in Johnson 2019. So basically, we should not adhere to these laws that state that a student has to speak a certain language to communicate their knowledge. And this includes testing as well. As I understand, we should be allowing for these students to demonstrate their knowledge using their language when they're being assessed as well. This promotes biliteracy and creates more inclusive and effective learning environments for them. When students see that their linguistics identities are constantly being valued, their academic performance improves. And I think that they will feel more engaged in participating in work, in their classroom activities. Thanks.